Hello, welcome to Most Fast Racing. This is my 1971 MGB that I got for free because it was sitting behind a barn for 20 years under a tree. After replacing the head gasket, a couple of wires, and the gas tank, I was able to get it running and it ran great. So great that I was able to put about 1,600 miles on it with no issues kind of whatsoever. But the floors are a little bit rusty. You can see completely through them, and so we're going to have to get those replaced, and we'll have some fun along the way. This is the longer version of the video with all the full details. I also uploaded a short version. Let's get into it. Even though I did manage to put about 1,600 miles on the car, the seats look like this and they don't adjust, so I'm the only one who can really drive the car. And upon taking out the seats, this is what the floor looked like. So we got the seat of this thing. These little holes here, not that one, this one, are where the seats mount. So you can see the whole floor just kind of moves. And then right over here, kind of very easily move the whole floor. I'm not sure you can kind of see that on camera, but it is, yeah, a little more solid over here. I might actually, even over here we got some holes. That's not good. Also a hole here. Okay, so we're probably gonna remove all of this. It's also holding. There's a whole bunch of stuff we will have to address. This looks pretty rough, but yeah. And then along here seems pretty okay until we get along here, but the wire wheel will reveal a lot more, so we'll see how far we need to cut with everything. Over here, definitely need to make a patch panel, and it goes all the way up into that corner. So that's gonna be fun with my lack of welding skills. Also here, we'll see what that looks like. There's a cross member that goes across, obviously. And what I'll drill a hole on either side from the bottom so I know where it is. And then we'll take away the sound deadening rubber material stuff. And that way I'll know exactly where to cut and where to kind of be a little bit more careful. I'll also try to drop any fuel lines. Same thing on this side, except it's a lot better shape up there. Probably still replace a lot of it because there are some little pinholes of rust. And obviously we have some bigger stuff here, and the whole floor itself is a little bit soft, which you can't really tell on camera, but that's all right. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, there's so many holes in my car. chisel until you find a spot weld that doesn't break. Grab this guy, sand it down until it's All right, so we finally got the floors all cut out, all the rusted spots cut out on. Probably have to, after we wire wheel, there'll probably be some other pieces we'll need to cut out. It's looking a little banged up, but we are gonna wire wheel everything and then paint it with some rust preventer and patch up some pieces there with some sheet metal. All right, so we got most of this kind of cleaned up with the wire wheel / the grinder, got most of the high spots down. But we gotta get into this channel. I don't really have any rotary tools that can dig on into there. So what we're gonna do is just wire brush. We don't have to get rid of all the rust. The primer and paint I'm gonna use is Rust-Oleum, and you can put it on. You just have to scrape off the loose rust and loose paint, but you can put it over rust and it'll stop the rust. And then all of this stuff in here, we're gonna have to kind of make another lip, and we'll probably, well, yeah, they're gonna have to, it's pretty bad back until here. Kick the water off your feet before you get into your car. So now we got it all wiped down with acetone. We've got this stuff, and it's brush on, so it'll be on nice and thick, and hopefully it'll make a nice protective coating. We're also gonna hit all these spots preventatively that were starting to rust on the transmission tunnel here. Go. Nice and coated.
All right, both floor pans fit in pretty nicely. We'll still have to kind of chisel out the sound deadening and then create a patch for that hole there, but it covers everything else. We'll have to drill a hole for these seatbelt wires to come through. And then on the other side, let's see if I have to get way under there. But the panel is slightly warped, so it pops out a bit. We'll play around with the back and forth, but it'll slide up a little bit. So I'm gonna do like a minor patch and then create a lip for this to rest on, and then patch some of these other holes here. We'll probably do that from underneath and behind. But yeah, pretty excited to have these in there. I'm gonna stand them to make sure they're good too. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better than it was before. A lot better. Oops, don't look at that. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint the underside of the floor pans. You can tell which side is the bottom because of the way they are. We've got the same Rust-Oleum protective paint, and that's just because this is gonna be touching the metal, and a lot of this is gonna be down in the chassis, and we won't be able to get to it after we've welded it in. So I want to get those covered first. The top part of this we'll be able to do once it's already welded into the car, so we won't worry about that. But yeah, so we're gonna start this now, so that way while we're patching some of the, and adding that lip in the chassis itself, we can let this dry. So first, clean it off with your, whatever your favorite cleaner is. Make sure you get all those sides and edges that you plan on using. Just want to get any oils or whatever that might be on this from the factory. I'm really hoping this is not stainless. We'll find out. Alright, so start there. Try taking it off?
Take it off?
Yeah. It's not welded to it, is it? Oh, there we go.
Huh?
That's good. So just look away.
You gotta go on to the sheet metal a little bit too.
Yeah, I'll go a little bit more. But you don't need to hold it there. You don't need the wood now. Well, at least not now. Let me hit that part.
Where are you going?
You ready? How's that look? All right, so instead of drilling 80,000 bajillion holes, had some extra counterweight added and then ground down along the frame in a bunch of spots. So I'm just gonna go through and weld those.
All right, so we've got the yin and yang of our floor patching here. We've got the one side that we pre-drilled and kind of spot welded, similar-ish to factory. And then we've got the other side where we just put the pan in and kind of spot welded along the sides, or tack welded along the sides and from underneath along the frame. So we're gonna finish up going along the edges on here just to hold, I guess it got warped a little bit, just to hold this down along the edges and along the edge through here. And then same thing on the other side to kind of finish up that weld. And then we'll be good to go to paint it. All right, I'm not really sure how much this is gonna be visible, but there's a bunch of really old sound deadening here where we need to strip away to bare metal so we can weld to it. So we got some stuff. Honestly, this like sound deadening stuff is super hard and doesn't really absorb any sound anymore. Was kind of put right on top of bare metal. So get rid of as much of that as we can, so we can also rust it with that, which will be kind of nice. I'm gonna do one of these, and I figured maybe without hitting my fingers, I can kind of form this to fit. Very long. Okay. So we're gonna go to the vise and then we'll come back and maybe we'll let it fit. I hammered that slight bend that'll meet the contour here. And now all we gotta do is kind of clear out this corner, this side, and along our new floor pan where it's gonna weld up to. I might be yelling, but that's just this. So we're gonna clean that out and we're gonna clean up all, I mean, this is a rusty old piece of metal. So we're gonna clean that up as well. Should be fun. I don't know if you'll be able to see anything, but I will because I'm wearing eye protection. I'm gonna kind of trace out where this is going, so I'm not just wasting a ton of time going everywhere with it. I found that a silver Sharpie on silver steel makes it super I lost my cap. Makes it super easy to see where exactly it's supposed to go. There we go. Wow. That's like a couple, well, there's like 3 shitty welds, and the rest of them are like halfway decent. I might have to put out whatever is making it smoke, but like that is like halfway decent. I'm excited about that. I'm pretty excited. But I think for right now, what we should do is we should do a chassis rigidity test. So we'll do that in a second. All right, so we're gonna do a chassis rigidity test just to make sure everything works okay. All right, so the floors are all cleaned up and sanded. We're gonna paint it with the same stuff we painted everything else to stop the rust. But I have to find a paintbrush first, so. There we go. Best Bob Ross impression. So we got that side caulked up. I did a terrible job, so we're gonna hopefully do a little bit of a better job on this side, but we probably won't, and that's okay. All right, let's see. It's kind of like, you know, they always say like a grinder and paint makes you the welder you ain't, but they never heard of seam sealer because that's even better. This is very liquidy. But I think this will work pretty well. It's filling it in nicely. And then any spots where the welds kind of really burned through, I'm gonna cover up this. All right, so we've got the 2 different brands of seam sealer, and this is the first one I did. It's a little bit stickier, but covers all the holes. And then on this side, I did a much nicer job. It also helped, there was a lot less stuff to patch. It was just around the edges. I'm gonna paint I'm gonna clean up everything in here and paint all of it a matte black. And that way, when I cover it with the carpet, any spots and gaps in the carpet are there's black paint showing through, so it looks the same. But yeah. All right, so. All right, so next up, we're gonna fully rebuild and restore on the entire interior. And make it nice and black. Make it look brand spanking new. So treat that as the first coat. Looks more than half bad. It's okay. I gotta tape off or put something over, probably just a glove, over the parking brake handle. All right, so before I jump on that side, I'm gonna kind of touch up some missed spots on this side. A few. Okay. Now we can paint this side, do it in a way that you can almost see. All right, so now just wait for that to dry. While that's doing that, I'm probably gonna lay out the carpet. We have a couple days without rain, so that should be. As much as the black paint job and the floors not being rusted is a huge improvement from the original floors that were in here. And with the seam sealer, you can't tell that my welds are atrocious and should be cut out and redone. The floor is strong enough. I have tried to, as you can see, it's bowing up there. I have tried to knock it back out using a hammer, a little 5-pound sledgehammer. But anyway, I'm gonna put sound deadening down and a carpet down. But I'm gonna lay out the carpet on the grass here first, so that way we can kind of get a visual of what it's like. We have to wait for the spray paint to dry. So we're going from this. I'll put the picture somewhere of what we had. It's like this. It's actually like a nice, like a normal car carpet. And I think, turn the camera down a little bit. I think it's not going to look half bad, you know? I mean, this doesn't go right there, but, you know, you get the gist. You get like a, I think that goes underneath the footwell there. But that'll be real nice. It's gonna be like one of those, like, you have to take your shoes off before you get in kind of deals. Be like a house.
We had like a, we have a recap.
All right, today, well, tonight, because it is getting dark out, putting some sound deadening in the MG, and it should also act as a heat shield. It'll also modernize and futurize our BMW because it's shiny chrome metal. This stuff is actually pretty thick. Let me open this up if I can figure out how to just do these jobbers here. Yeah, but it's not as thick as like a Passat one, but also it's not a luxury car. We're just trying to quiet some of the rattles and the creaks and the crunching of my welds breaking apart as you're driving down the interstate at 50 miles an hour, because that's kind of how a 4-speed car works. But yeah, this is probably, Egyptian terms, it's like a finger width, but it is like shiny. Hopefully it's enough. I just read on the thing, it does say you need 2 sheets of this for a passenger vehicle. To be fair, I think passenger vehicles mean more like the 3 Series or a Jetta that can have multiple passengers and not just one additional passenger. But we'll see. I think it'll cover everything we wanted to. And if not, we're going to order another sheet and apply that later. Just want to get enough in here. That is nice, actually. So what I'll do is probably lay it. Yeah, we're going to need another sheet. Damn. It is actually almost perfect size. Might be able to almost lay this out just across. It might be a little too long for that. Let's see here. I gotta really screw this back on. It keeps falling off on me here. It's a little too long for that. If we can get it to go, we'll cut a hole for the shifter and kind of cut around where the radio and everything else is. Yeah, bring you guys in here. So it's kind of in the general shape. We'll cut around the shifter, and the parking brake's kind of pitching a tent in there as well. And once we cut around that, we should be able to. Might have to slide this, cut this, and slide the whole thing yay way a little bit. All right, changed my mind. So we rotate this long ways. I folded it in half, stuffed it. It'll actually go perfectly up the footwells if we just cut it in half, and then the separation of the top of the transmission tunnel should be enough space that'll go all the way to the edge and maybe up that side a little bit. And then any trimmings from around the top we can kind of lay across the front or maybe cut off the back here. But I think this will waste a lot less material and be a more seamless, at least in the footwells, of sound deadening / heat shield material. So we're gonna cut it in half. I'm not exactly a mathematician, so I'm just gonna fold it instead of measuring. Also not like a good housekeeper, so the folding is actually probably more difficult than the measuring would have been. Okay. That is good. Yeah, that's good. That's close enough. Yeah, so cutting in half I think is our best bet. If not, like I said, I don't think this stuff is super terribly expensive. There we go. Two exactly, almost nearly identical pieces of sound deadening / insulation. Alright, so let's get these in the vehicle. Kind of guide this in, probably most of it on this inside wall. And we also kind of want to double check and make sure I've got a good amount of extra. Actually, that's perfect. That is pretty much perfect there. Wow. Okay. There's just this crease in a bad spot. Right. Right where you go. There we go. Okay. There we go. We moved the crease to a good spot. Gas pedal is still pressable. Wow. That looks professional. All right, I'll do the other side and then I'll bring you guys in and show you. Okay, here's the radio. FM, AM. So that's actually interesting. So this says, or is that negative or positive ground? Or does that mean it is wired for a negative 12 volt negative and then a positive ground? Because this car is a negative ground, negative earth. This is all just mouse peed away and rusted. I don't think this is gonna work. We'll have to give this to our in-house electronics expert. I can't. It does look like that's the ground symbol on the back there with a little positive symbol next to it. So I don't really have good faith. Huh, so I wonder if that worked anyway? Yeah, I don't know if it'll work. Even if it doesn't, we can probably at least save this faceplate to whatever unit we do end up using in the car, because I do want some tunes, especially in a nice convertible. Yep, so here it is. Kind of goes up in there pretty good, but I still would want another patch probably up back there. I do like the 8-ball actually as the hood latch. And then we want another one to kind of go over this section. But as far as the rest of it, it's filling the footwells pretty nice. It's not like overbearing into those door sills. Where I'll probably put adhesive is along these inside edges in the top of the back. I don't think this is going to be an issue because the seat will run right along that, and the same with the other side. But again, for tonight, I'm just going to throw all the carpets in and on top and see what that all looks like. All right, so next we're going to put in the sound deadening. I'm not going to glue it on. We've got this spray adhesive stuff. If I was sponsored, I would say which brand it was. We're not going to like go crazy on the entire thing. We're gonna kind of spray it in a couple places, try not to inhale too much of it. A little bit in the corners here, and then we're gonna go around the edges and then one stripe up the middle, but only in front of where the seat will be. Because the seat rails are probably gonna end up holding down most of it anyway. So I don't have to worry too much about that. It's gonna go along this upper edge where that's gonna be. Try not to inhale too much of it, but inhale with. It smells like those like rubber plastic dinosaurs they had like toy stores as a kid. That's kind of concerning. So we're doing this for the sound deadening. I'm not going to do it for the carpet just yet. I'll do one more stripe down here. I don't know why people do drugs. You can just work on cars and it has like the same effect. It's amazing. All right, so we're just gonna a little bit around there. We'll probably end up cutting the sound deadening around that anyway, because I don't want to pack too much material right next to the handbrake. All right, let's see. All right, it's not coming off my fingers anymore here. So that should be the perfect tackiness to install this. Hopefully it's not too tacky when I'm sticking it before we can get it in place. Oh wait. Okay, it's trying. It's sticking. It's sticking. Come on, get up there. Okay, so that's. Is that where I want it? Yep, that's exactly. Yep, we'll be able to cut that hole in a second. Probably end up cutting that a little bit. Oop, I don't know if I put enough glue there. Alright, you can always start it underneath. Alright, next we should be able to get these small little middle pieces on. Gonna have to hold it in place a little bit. Give it a couple seconds to bond. Ooh, that's gonna interfere with the carpet. Just lift it up, cut it. Not think about that all the way through. That's gonna. Oh no. So you can see you can't really goof too much with this. Okay, so yeah. So I'm just gonna peel some of that off. We're gonna probably start about here. And go more down this side. Like I've always said, I have no idea what I'm doing, so don't do what I do. Okay, this one is for the passenger side. We're gonna lay it in, and I guess we'll cut out where the handbrake is, so we won't run into issues there. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna fold this in half first, and kind of get it most of the way in here. A little chrome filled up in the corner. That might give us issues, but we can always cut stuff out. Get this before I really start packing stuff down. Might need to make a slice and dice up here. Not quite sure yet. Okay, we'll cut around the handbrake. This space here. I'll grab the scissors in a second. Other than that, it is looking. We got just a little bit of an issue up here, but well, not really an issue, I guess. More of like a fold over. We'll just cut that sideways. All right, just cut right. Should probably fold this down. I have to spritz a little glue in there. Stuff is not easy to cut, so it's right about there. That is our fold out here. I'm with it. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Jeez. Let's try down with this. Okay. It actually folds perfectly. That should still. Yep. There we go. Okay. We come up with a little fold here. Stuff is like soft and squishy and doesn't really like to cut very nicely. Well, those scissors, I guess. Huh. Alright, well, I'm just gonna spray a little bit more glue behind that. Make sure that stays out of our way. And then while this is setting up and drying, I'm gonna go hang out outside because this is a little much for the old brain cells here. All right, there we go. We have successfully modernized and futurized our MGB interior. I'm gonna go outside for a little bit, get some fresh air. All right, so we sprayed the glue and the adhesive on the vertical side now along the door sill. I'm just using this piece of wood to hold the carpet up out of the way so it can dry that like 15 minutes-ish. And it'll be good to put that one in. While we're waiting for that to dry, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start applying the carpet down here and over the wheel wells. I'll probably flip the camera around so everybody can see that one. We just have this laid in here. I'm actually going to take this out of the way since we've got that all set up so I don't ruin that inadvertently while I put the rest of the carpet in. We go a little over past because I don't really know what I'm doing. So just in case I get this everywhere. But at least our battery will be secure in place now. Okay, we're gonna give this a few minutes to tack up and I think we're good. All right, see how this works. We've got some weights back over there, so we're gonna kind of massage it in as much as we can, and then we'll use this board and some weights to kind of try to hold it in some more. Trying to get this kind of nice and tight. All the fittings are going to be a lot tighter and this carpet's not going to fit as perfect as it should. I think if you're not adding a ½ inch, quarter inch, whatever it is, of sound deadening around the entire vehicle, it would actually be a really, really nice fit. But of course, we're adding way too much sound deadening here. This is definitely going to be a shoes off car though when it's done. I can tell. It's all right. We'll fight it a little bit. Go. I can kind of nestle nicely in that corner. Nicely enough at least. Kind of hold that against the side. That one's held in. And the wood is just getting everywhere. Oh. Not staying there. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let that bubbling goo all tack up a little bit, and then we'll be able to put this one where it's supposed to go. And we've already got the relief cut out for the spot where the seatbelt goes in. Hopefully we didn't glue it in too much, but an impact should free that up anyway. So this stuff really tacks up, so I'm gonna kind of be a little bit more careful with this one. Because it really just gets sticky, which is kind of nice, but it's also like a little stressful. Oh, that looks so nice. Come on, get in the way. Actually, I might just cut this off. be able to see it. It's fine. The way this folds doesn't want to. Might have to make a relief cut in it somewhere. Bandage. That's all right. Come on. Good. Okay. Hard part is kind of working out, I guess, all the places it wants to crease to be able to make these turns, but this relief cut helped a lot. Since we've already kind of done this before, oh, let's just cover that completely, so let's get this out of our way for a second. Spider-Man. All right, whew. Let that dry, or tack up, and by now we should have this tacked up. I'm supposed to put this piece in first here, kind of right against that edge. That's not bad at all. I just want carpets. We're getting there. All right, so the next piece we're gonna do is this one here, and it's got kind of a, you get it all lined up, which is a little tough because we do have the sound bending here and down here. We get lined up as best you can in the corners here, and then you fold this over, and that'll be kind of, you glue that top down as well, and then there's the other piece that sits on top. But the way I'm gonna do it here is pull this out all the way, and I'm gonna cover all this in glue and that where it covers up, and then at the end we'll do, or I'll do the lip as well. We'll do it all at once. All right, so we just sprayed down the actual carpet itself, so now we're gonna do the inside part here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this in and get some gloves. Oh, this is sticky right now. Boy, oh boy. Ah, don't stick yet. Let me get you in the right place. Get this down, way down. Oh, come on. Oh boy. This from inside the vehicle. So as we're lining up this top piece here, and then trying not to destroy everything we've already done. Oh, jeez. Okay. Some little glue sticking out here and there. We'll deal with that when we deal with it. Again, there'll be seats going in here, so a lot of this will be covered, but we still want it to look fairly decent. Okay, so that's pretty decent, and then we'll fold. Oh man. See if we can do this right without screwing it up somehow. We're gonna ignore that. Of course. Stuff that in there somewhere. Okay. Okay, get it kind of vaguely into position here. Should be in neutral, which I think is our goal position. So I want to strap the top, and it has like a little button that you can click together. Ah. I have to cut this a little better, but we can do that once it's in. Let's have to work around. There we go. Ah, that's not good. Well, the black spray paint will be our friend again. But I'm just gonna try to get this buttoned in. Oh, this is fun. I can barely butt my pants. Okay. There's that in. Okay. Got that kind of. Now we'll just kind of massage this down. Get that crease at the bottom is gonna be a little weird. Try to stretch it. Don't do it. Ooh, that's not bad. It's better. Okay. Okay. The fun part of all this is going to be refinding where all these little bolts. Oops, I forgot about this. There we go. Put that down. Perfect. This perfect. It's a little lumpy, it's a little frumpy, but it'll do. The bolt holes for the shifter boot. Oh, there's even interfere. 1, 2, 4, and then reverse is always impossible to get into. So we're good there. So that's good. Put the boot on top. I want to put a little bit more glue down on this. Tack that in. Push it in. Not welding. Go. So that one pinched in tight. Same thing on this side. Down here as well. All right, and then we'll put these pieces in. That's nice. So again, we're not going crazy with these as far as the gluing goes. We want kind of just enough to hold it from wriggling around out from under your feet. And kind of hold it in some of these weird little corners here. Oh, that is so much nicer. Wow. Oh, that looks so nice. So again, we've just got a little bit of glue in here to hold it from moving around out from under your feet. I think it should be okay, and the gas pedal is completely fine. Gas, brake, clutch, there's no interference from the new carpet at all. Oh, this is awesome. Bring you guys in here so you can see. But that is so nice. Wow. Once we get all the gauge bezels cleaned up, steering wheel put back on, shifter boot on, a nice radio dash cover. I'm gonna put this one on quick. So this one will be like an easy to take off one, so you can access the battery. But yeah, that is nice. I took all the ripped up covers and chewed up mouse moldy foam off of our original seat rails and back. While I was looking around, shopping around for new foam, new covers, they were very, very, very expensive. So while I was finding them, I found a pair of used seats, one right here, one right here, in very good condition, a mild tear here, but that's a future issue. But much, 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 much cheaper, 1/10 of the price than redoing the other seats. We're gonna keep those frames around because we might decide to restore them all the way in the future, but not yet. Super obvious to find. Boom. This one is just a recessed hole that I should have marked as I was going, but according to my calculations, it's about here. I'm gonna try to peel up carpet a little bit, and that way I'm only stabbing through the sound deadening and heat insulation until I actually find the specific hole spot, and then I'll mark it out, and that way we only have one hole. The hole for the buckle itself, these are still wet. There we go. Clean. The hole for the buckle itself kind of protrudes out. That's right here. I can feel that. So that's easy. We'll just have to peel this piece of carpet up, which is kind of just halfway tacked down. Be able to put this in, and that'll be there. Alrighty, so I think I figured out where the spot is. Things right at the dot. So theoretically, if I melt through this with this handy dandy heat gun, then it should be okay. So let's see. That was quick. It does also have a thingamajig on it, but there's a lot less extraneous stuff. We're also going to make sure that we're not twisted up. I think it might have been twisted up stock. That slides out. That slides out nicely. It slides out. Okay. I don't know how to fix that. Seems like when you pull it from further away. Okay, we'll have to play around with that once we get the other end attached. But anyway, I'm just gonna make sure that it is not twisted. Seems to be pretty straightforward there. Now I will fight with this for at least a little bit to see if looks a little ugly, but the seat goes right over top of that anyway. Okay. Actually, what I might do is just cut a slit here. Woo! That's spicy. Okay, now we'll just wallow that a little, melt that a little bit wider. So we've got the seat set in the all the way back position. Don't screw this up, but we'll get the seat rails already attached. And then we just got to figure out where exactly we want this. This is that carpeting and sound deadening added a lot of See, so that's all the way back. I don't know if this is gonna be adjustable anymore. Let's see. Clean-ish. That's nice, actually. Good thing there's not two of me, because I don't think we could ride together. I don't really have any play side to side whatsoever. It's kind of back as far as it goes. I'm gonna add a little bit of just carpeting there, no more sound deadening. Maybe more sound deadening, we'll see. To here, and I can stretch way out. This is, wow. I could get used to this. This is comfortable. I might take a little quick nap. Oh, my carpet. Don't want to ruin that. Burn a nice hole. And burn a nice. Is that warm enough still? No. Alright. Alright, so we've got those holes marked. And then once we have the front holes marked, I'll just adjust the seat, and then we'll get our holes burned through here, so now we know exactly where to drill. Hopefully it's in a good spot. Okay, let's see where that. Okay. It's an inconvenient place, but not the worst place. Alright, so now that we have our holes drilled, we can put the seat in here. Try to line that up-ish with the holes. This side has like the little lever with the holes in it. That one's in the furthest, the seat is in the furthest back position, which is perfect. So we just gotta get our holes lined up. With the holes we drilled. Rub it in, all that down. Yeah, so if you're ever doing a project where you're taking something that previously did not have carpeting or sound deadening in, and you're adding a bunch of it, maybe factor that into like everything you do. Because this is becoming quite fun. All right, so now we've got our front bolts here tightened down. We've got our front carpet laid nicely across the bolts in the front of the seat rails, so you don't really see them. It looks good, which is probably good because I picked really shiny bolts. So we gotta push our lever in. It's a little sticky, I think. It doesn't really need to here, but anyway, it's good enough. We got this lever, which functions, which moves that up and almost out of our way enough to drill these holes in. Perfect. I don't even know where the heck. I don't know where the heck those holes are. How far? Oh, right there. This isn't terribly far ahead, but it's far enough ahead that it's like way under the seat. I'm gonna drill a hole through here and here. So I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna use a heat gun to melt through that more. Go. It's gonna melt that all away from it, so don't deal with it. I'll make that a lot better. Probably should have put this up on jack stands first. It's starting to go in. Let's see. Oh, that's the problem. Put it too close to that little block thing, I think. Let's see. No, it should be okay. There's the lever. Okay. That's good there. This needs a new cover for this side. That side's okay, of course. There we go. It's kind of nice. I've got nice space. Yeah, it's perfect. These seats are like really comfy. I think it's just worn seats that are really comfy, but these worn seats in particular are very comfy. Man, I am sweating. Whew, all right. All right, so once again, we're dropping things. At least it means the seats will slide nice. Okay. Should we keep that in there now? Should be fun with the steering wheel here. Okay. So once again, we have the seat set on the rails in the furthest back position possible. That way, it'll be, and I'll kind of test that out quick, but it should be sittable in and drivable in even for myself and my dad, while also being sittable in and drivable in for the shorter folk. So I'm gonna kind of put that right there. I tend to drive more upright, but I have friends and stuff who drive pretty reclined practices. So I can push the clutch in all the way, gas, brake, everything is fine. I am a little offset with the wheel here, but I will be getting a smaller diameter wheel. We're trying to make one, that'll be kind of fun. Trying to make a nice wooden wheel in the future at some point, but right now it's kind of a little off kilter. But I think this will be okay. Let me try. Enough to get that through. We will find out. The drilling through this stuff is not. Fun fact, both of those holes, when I put the seat exactly where I want it, are in the middle of the frame. So, just drilled through the carpet for no reason. Should check that first. Well, my phone memory managed to fill up, but I did manage to drill through the carpet, get all the seat bolts installed, and now I can finally enjoy the car, and it is amazing. It is a little late in the season, so there's no leaves on the tree, and it is a bit cold out, but I'm just happy to finally get back behind the wheel of this car. Thanks for watching.